Okay, so I have a question about language, and it's something that came into my mind as you were reading just now. There's a lovely piece in Vogue that you did, I think, maybe a month or two ago. Was it called A Pandemic, a Marriage, and I think Life Between Two?
A marriage and a life on two continents.
Yes, exactly. So there's a line there where you, there's a little section where you talk about, being in San Francisco with your husband and sort of slipping into his life, his friends, his sort of social circles, and relentlessly speaking English. Communicating, and this I'm quoting, communicating the clutter of my inner life in a language that houses my intellect more than my heart. And I was just wondering how, when you're writing in English, where does the heart come from? How do you place the heart in your writing?
Yeah, I think, Janice, a lot of the heart, if one wants to look at the heart in my book, it is in the dialogue. So a lot of the dialogue, it's not that the prose doesn't have what I'm feeling, but the dialogue is where I get the texture of the national feeling, right? Of the ways in which we speak and the ways in which we convey intimacy through our cadences and through the words that we choose to leave out also. And language telegraphs class, it telegraphs your politics. A lot of the language, even the title is a colloquialism. Are you enjoying? Aapne enjoy kiya? Did you enjoy? And a lot of people in the Western world who have read this have sort of been a little perplexed, not necessarily by the title, but about sort of the ways in which my characters speak a lot of broken English in the book, and they've sort of said, this reads very much like a debut, and that's hilarious to me because I'm just trying to tell you, I'm conveying a sensibility, right? So yeah, the dichotomy between head and heart. Look, when I listen to a song that is produced by A.R. Rahman or that is sung in the voice of Farida Khanum, I am transported, and that is my heart responding to the transportation, right? It has nothing to do with my intellect, but that is in Urdu, that is in Hindi, and जो लचक है गाने की, that is how I respond viscerally. So the visceral response is in Urdu, which is what I grew up singing. But because the language of instruction, I grew up speaking, but because the language of instruction was English in school, my intellectual life has always taken place in English. So that is sort of these are the two worlds, and a lot of the people I'm inspired by, Janice, they are Urdu speaking characters, right? Even Usher. In the title story, Sophie says about him, she says, she wondered how the thoughts in his head, forged in Urdu, were released so quickly and bizarrely into the English wild. And that is a comment. That is the comment on my writing process too, because a lot of my thoughts, when I'm observing people, are forged in Urdu, and then I think, okay, now to translate this sensibility into English. And I think a lot of writers from our part of the world who write in English, who write contemporary fiction in English, but who operate in a tradition and a milieu and a sensibility of Urdu and Hindi, have to navigate this.